So is Ondo Finance still worth holding? With everything that went down with Mantra, should we actually panic about the entire RWA space? We'll discuss that in today's video, but remember, nothing here is financial advice. I can always be wrong, so make sure you guys do your own research. And if you do get anything from this video, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button. Now, before I get into things, if you're looking for a great crypto exchange, make sure you check out my link to BTCC. You get 10% bonus on first-time deposits, extra bonuses up to $10,000. Requires no VPN and no KYC. The link is going to be in my description down below. But getting into the video here, for those of you that don't know, OM Mantra completely crashed just a few days ago, and it seemed to have come out of nowhere. Most people is speculating that it was a massive rug pull from the team. Now, if we take a look here, Mantra is currently sitting at 77 cents with a market cap of 748 million. This thing completely crashed because take a look at this massive red candle right here. It was sitting at $6.27. It came all the way down to about 39 cents before this little bit of bounce back that is happening right now at 77 cents. But if you zoom out just a little bit, what you notice for Mantra is this thing has been going up ever since all the way back here, September, no, pretty much right here. So October, let's call this end of October 2023, this thing had only been going up. It was just going parabolic. This thing was sitting at 1 cent and it made its way all the way up to $9.16 at its very peak. There has been times where Bitcoin was doing completely nothing, but Mantra continued to just go up and up and up. For example, if we take a look here, something recent like February 13th, Bitcoin was just chilling, trading sideways for the most part. A lot of the altcoins were going down, not a lot of action in the overall crypto space, but around that time period, Mantra was just making new highs because February 15th, this thing was sitting at 544 and it just went all the way up to $8.14. So Mantra continued to make higher highs in 2025. Meanwhile, the rest of the crypto market was just breaking all sorts of support levels. So that was a indication that maybe it was just too good to be true. I don't know, right? Mantra is not a coin that I have ever held in my crypto portfolio, but it's a very popular RWA coin. So to see this massive red candle to the downside, it was just completely brutal, right? Now, if we take a look here at Mantra's X account, the team said that the reason for the crash was due to reckless liquidations and it has nothing to do with the project itself. The problem with that is maybe that is so. It's very hard to say, but a lot of investors is just not buying it. But one thing that is for sure is in this space, once trust gets broken, it is insanely hard to come back. So do I think that Mantra is going to reach new all-time highs, especially this year? It's probably not likely, but anything is possible in this space, right? So if you are holding Mantra, you definitely have some very, very difficult decisions to make. But again, it all comes down to how much research did you put into this project. But getting into Ondo Finance right now. So let's start off with this right here. So Ondo surged 4% after Mantra crash, and it became the third largest RWA coin, right? So that was pretty good. The only thing is not everybody is buying that because according to Quinn Thompson here, so Quinn Thompson raises red flags on Ondo amid Mantra token fallout. So Quinn Thompson, which is the founder and chief investment officer of Lecker Capital, has once again raised red flags about another RWA project, Ondo Finance. So on April 14th, he took to X and issued his renewed warning regarding Ondo Finance in the light of the recent Mantra debacle. He asked on-chain investigators on March 18th to confirm whether Ondo's TVL is artificially inflated by the team selling tokens and redirecting the proceeds back into the protocol to create the illusion of organic user adoption. To support his claims, Thompson resurfaced his post from October 2024, where he criticized the project's $7 billion fully diluted valuation despite generating no revenue and offering products USDY and OUSG that are just wrappers on BlackRock's BUIDL. He also pointed to the company's 0.15% take rate, which had been waived until 2025, meaning the protocol was earning no revenue despite its sizable TVL. He argued that once the fees kicked in, users will likely move their funds to Biddle because it's safer, cheaper, and has better yields. Even if Ondo does start charging the fee, it would only earn about 975K annually. That is over a 7,000x FDV. I'm just going to read this last little part here. You guys can actually check this article for yourself if you want to go through the full thing, but it says, to tie it all together, Ondo Finance may be leveraging artificial inflation of TVL by selling their own Ondo and then taking the cash and putting it back into their own protocol. The funds invested in T-bills are also part of the reported TVL, but they're not actually being used for DeFi activities like lending, borrowing, or trading. Both of these tactics create a misleading picture of the protocol's actual adoption. Now, as a Ondo investor, those of you that's been following me for a while, you already know that I have Ondo in my portfolio, but I've been in the space long enough to know that there's always going to be questions on no matter what project it is. There's always going to be FUD. People's always going to doubt every single thing. And I'm not saying that they are wrong in what they're claiming with Ondo, but what I am saying is I still believe in the project, and that's because I did my own research. Now, we wouldn't have this article posted here today if, or this actually might have been a couple days ago, but this article wouldn't be posted if Mantra didn't fall. And because BlackRock is closely tied to this project and other big players in the space, I'm going to just bet my money there. You know, of course, again, I can always be wrong, but I definitely believe that the reputation of like BlackRock and other names in this space is definitely on the table here. So I'm going to keep my money parked here for now. But if you are uncomfortable with Ondo, it's definitely good to put on a trailing stop loss or just a stop loss or whatever, just to make sure that your capital is protected, because the last thing that you want to happen to you is the same thing that happened to Mantra. Now, if we do look at the charts here, this does not look anything like Mantra, because if you go all the way out to the beginning of, and this is the Ondo charts, you go all the way out to the beginning of January of 2024 when it came onto the scene here. We saw that initial pop to 44 cents, came down to 20 cents, and it's been looking pretty decent, but it definitely hasn't gone on the parabolic run that Mantra went on. Like Mantra just went on another level. So Ondo is not that crazy in terms of like price action in a bull market. So, and I definitely believe that RWA is still the thing for this bull space. And I think that we're going to make a killing in the RWA space, right? So I'm still holding my Ondo for now, and I'm just going to let this thing do its thing and see how things actually go. And again, it all comes down to how much research you actually did and where did you actually buy these coins. Because if you're buying these coins after they went from 1 cent all the way up to $9 and you bought it at $9, then yeah, you're going to be worried because you don't know what's going to happen. Are you ever going to make your money back? Now, some people like to say, it's good to wait. These coins will just eventually bounce back, but that doesn't always happen. We've seen it all the time. Like Mantra could continue to fall. Right now, what we experienced when it bounced from 39 cents to 77 cents, that could just be a massive dead cat bounce, and then it's just going to continue to crash. You never know. So if you do hold Mantra, you do have a big decision to make. But as far as Ondo and all the other RWA coins, I don't see a reason to panic. But anyways, that's all I have for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button. Check out a few of the links that I have down below. And until next time, take care.